Ladies and gentlemen, we ask at this time, please rise to your ring and remove your hat as we honor America display our national anthem.
Hello and welcome to another season of Somerville Highlander Hockey on Somerville EdTV. I'm Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Orrego. And Tyler, the Highlanders open out tonight against the Wakefield Warriors as the Warriors come in off of a big victory, 5-3 over their conference foe, Woburn. Highlanders coming in 0-1 off of a loss, 4-2 against their conference foe, Everett. And things have changed here in Highlanderland. No more Casesso, no more DeAngelis. Highlanders have lost those 200-point scorers. What can they do now?
Well, it's going to have to be an effort that's put forward by a committee of players here on this revamped and renewed Somerville roster, Todd. And obviously we got so spoiled over the years to constantly being able to rely on those two particular players for offense. And the Highlanders were able to get a couple of goals in their opening loss to Everett, going up against a Wakefield team here tonight that has to feel a bit rejuvenated themselves with how last season went. Only 2 wins for the Warriors, who started off 0-6, Todd. This was a team last year. They didn't win a game until January. Already got 1 win under their belt. So the Highlanders are going to have a confident group here in front of them. They've got to try and generate some of their own confidence here tonight in their home opener.
As it's J.P. Casey for the Warriors, taking it with Matt Costa for the Highlanders. Highlanders control the puck, and we are underway with the 2025-2026 season for the Highlanders. Young freshman Colin Donovan in goal for the Highlanders, gets his first action as he shovels that puck aside. That puck dumped out by Shane Doe into the Wakefield zone. Doe looking to hold it in, and he's able to as he cycles it back around to the near boards. Wakefield able to clear it. There's Shane Doe, captain for the Highlanders this season. Controlling that puck, gets it over to Braden Hart. Hart, one of the 2 goals for the Highlanders, as Hart gets it into the attacking zone, but stolen away by J.P. Casey. Highlanders lose control of the puck as Braden Mayette carries it in for Wakefield. Offsides is going to be the call, as we're going to have the face-off coming outside the zone.
And Todd, when we talk about the changes for this Highlander team this year, obviously Matt DeAngelis and Chris Casesso stand out, but Seamus Foley on defense as well, a long-standing pillar of this defense for the Highlanders. And that was a player who Shane Doe got to play with primarily for those first 2 seasons. And so now you see him here as a junior with a letter on his chest, the leader of this team. They're going to expect a lot, and they're going to need a lot from number 14, not just tonight, but the entirety of this season.
As Candelino looked to get that out, the lone senior on the team, unable to clear it from the zone. Now Sartori in the corner for Wakefield, gets it taken away by Candelino. It's Candelino behind the Highlander net. He's sent down to the ice by Sartori. Candelino, though, bringing it out, trying to clear it away. Sartori not going away, and he'll come away with it. Highlanders pick up the puck as that's Kyle Antonelli, the other goal scorer for the Highlanders in that battle against Everett. as he was able to carry it out. Highlanders looking to carry into the attacking zone as Ben DiCarlo has it. DiCarlo, he'll shovel that one towards the net. Ross able to knock it aside. Brendan Ross, a freshman as well for Wakefield, getting the start between the pipes for the Warriors.
That was a little interesting to see too, Todd. I think we were both expecting the senior David Roca to get the nod, but Wakefield opting to give a first-year goaltender a chance here on the road to try and make it 2 straight to start this season.
As DiCarlo back behind the Highlander net tries to clear it away. John Taylor for the Warriors ends up with the puck and sends it towards the net. And Colin Donovan will hold on in the glove. Face-off will stay in the Highlander end. 12:46 just underway here from the vet, Tyler, as hockey is underway.
It's great to have hockey back as Kyle Antonelli made a nice play to win that puck along the far side, but he just couldn't get it in deep to the Warriors zone once he crossed the red line. That almost worked out, though, for the Highlanders with Ben DiCarlo making a quick play onto that puck.
As the puck won back to the point, sent in, knocked aside by the traffic in front of the net. Highlanders looking to poke that one out. Unfortunately, not able to. Ben DiCarlo tried to get it out. Highlanders still trying to battle out of their own zone here. As that puck taken away by Wakefield. Now that puck cleared out.
Good block by Colin Rosas there out in front as Warriors are trying to get pucks to the net here early. They know that Somerville's starting a first-year goaltender too, the debut of Colin Donovan, and so far the Highlanders have done really well insulating their young goaltender.
Ethan Thomas ridden off the puck by Candelino behind the net. Highlanders come away with it for a moment. Braden Hart tries to clear the zone. Unable to as it's sent back in. Now Colin Rosas on the far corner. Sent around as Antonelli tried to clear that one out. Sent back in by Giancopoulos. Now controlled by Couture for the Warriors. Stolen away though, as Braden Hart sends that one down ice, but the icing is going to be the call. So the face-off will come back to the Highlander zone. Highlanders having trouble getting that puck out of the zone. Forecheck for Wakefield. Very, very strong early on.
Yeah, Wakefield doing some great work early on in this game along the boards, just taking opportunities and lanes away. And you can hear Coach Capazzo, as we often do, yell, pass the puck. And as good as Braden Hart can be with his feet and in transition, you're not going to be able to do everything solo here this season, not like what we saw with Matt DeAngelis and Chris Casesso. Somerville's got to defend as a unit, Todd, but they've also got to find ways to attack as well.
As J.P. Casey fires that one from the top of the face-off circle. Sent aside by Colin Donovan as he got the blocker on it. Once again, Casey coming up, tries to carry it in, gets dispossessed as he entered the Somerville zone. Now Marco Lewis will send that in. But an icing will be the call as Lewis not across the center ice line. Face-off comes back to the Highlander zone.
Somerville just right now in the early goings trying to get themselves all on the same page here. They've been able to get pucks out of their zone, Todd, but it has not come easy in the early goings, and as a result, they really don't have enough left in the tank to even get up to the red line now. And the last thing you want to do is string some of these icings together early because it's going to allow for Wakefield to get in more of a rhythm offensively.
Giron misplayed that one defensively, but was able to come back and clean it up in his own zone. Now Wakefield has numbers forward. Puck knocked away from Guida. Lots of speed here for Candelino as he leaves the Highlander zone, drops it off to DiCarlo. On the far boards, DiCarlo ridden off by Morris. Now mid-boards here near side. Highlanders trying to keep it in. Is Costa trying to battle, but Wakefield able to get it out as DeFeo brings that one down. Candelino takes it away. Now Pasquale through neutral ice, carries into the attacking zone, but gets it taken away by Curon. Picked up by Taylor as he will send it around the Highlander net. Picked up on the far corner by Palmer. He'll send it back here to the near corner. They send it back to the point. Giancopoulos, he'll fire that one. It gets deflected high into the glass.
Good stick from Antonelli there.
Candelino will chase it down in the corner. Looking to get it out of the zone. Simoneau for the Warriors there as well. Far corner now. Antonelli tries to get there, but taken through his legs by Palmer. Palmer fires the shot. Donovan there, hugging his post, makes the stop.
Just about 5 minutes into this game, Todd, and Colin Donovan, this is how you want a game to start off. A couple of early shots from distance to get yourself feeling the puck, one with the glove, one with the blocker. But then a real challenge as Palmer does a nice job to take a puck off the boards and not settle for a low-angle shot. Try and see if you can take it to the net and make the goaltender have to make a more challenging save, which Donovan was able to do.
Braden Mayette tried that wrister from the point. Got blockered aside once again by Donovan. Highlanders looking to clear this one out as Martell will be able to poke it out of the zone. Unable to control neutral ice, though. The Warriors send it right back in as Donovan will get it with his stick and collect it, given off to Martell. Highlanders not able to clear it out. Martell once again tries to get it out, but Yankopoulos keeps hold of it at the blue line. Cleared out there. Nice job by Zach Howe. Sent back in by the Warriors. They'll go for a change as Martell has control behind the Highlander net. Gives it to Doe. Doe gets it out of the zone as he feathered it through the air, but Mayette now will fire it from the blue line. Handled easily by Colin Donovan.
I like that play by Donovan, too. There was a little bit of time maybe to play that puck off and not take the face-off, but with how this game has gone for the Highlanders right now, the more whistles and stoppages might end up benefiting them to just try and continue to settle into this game. Their defensive structure has looked good here in front of Donovan, but the problem is they've spent so much energy defending in the early goings, Todd, that they really can't get anything else moving across that other side of the red line. It's been a real struggle, and it's a testament to how Wakefield's come out and started this game right in their face.
Highlanders control the puck after the faceoff. We've got a foul coming up called against Wakefield, so the Highlanders get the extra skater out.
I think JP Case is going to get it for a hit right in front of the penalty box.
As Candelino has it behind the net, he'll try to make the rush here as he gets into neutral ice. Tries to get it by Casey, but Casey pokes it away. Walsh touches it up. Wakefield will be charged with the foul here. As we'll see who goes into the box. Actually, no, it'll be Hugh Forrest who goes into the box for the Warriors. So the Highlanders will have the man advantage with 8:16 remaining. Scoreless tie here from the vet. Highlanders looking to generate some offense.
A really big power play coming up here for the Highlanders. You've been on your back foot to start here this game, but now a chance to try and set up shop in the attacking zone and try and test out Brendan Ross, who has only seen one shot so far in the early going.
Candelino with it here near point. Taking his time, working the blue line, trying to find an opening through this Wakefield penalty kill as he goes far boards. Looking at the point once again. There's Hart. As Hart will send that one in, it goes wide as it got deflected wide of the net. Now Doe will collect it in the corner, gets it back to Hart. Hart will fire that one in, gets knocked down in front of the net. Couldn't quite get it through the traffic. Hart once again fires that one, and right in front of the net, trying to get the rebound off of the back boards was Ben DiCarlo as that went wide and the net came off its moorings. Minute 20 remaining in the man advantage for the Highlanders. 7:35 remaining in the period as the Highlanders generating some shots there. Braden Hart leading with that attack from the point.
You can see what Hart can do, not only with his skating ability, but the shot that he possesses as well. And that's how you want the power play to start off. If you're the Highlanders, win and control things off the faceoff, and then just see if you can send anything to the net, hoping for some kind of deflections, which DiCarlo nearly had a touch on.
Wakefield able to clear that one out. Short-handed as they come down. Sartori causing some troubles here on the forecheck.
Very aggressive on the penalty kill.
As Sartori will steal the puck away, tries the backhand. Donovan there with the pad as he kicks it aside with the left. Now Braden Hart has speed through the neutral zone. He's in, fires off the forehand there, knocked aside by Ross with the right pad. Highlanders battling in the corner, able to get it there. Antonelli came right in front of him but didn't get the stick down in time. 35 seconds remaining in the man advantage for the Highlanders as they get it up to Antonelli. Antonelli feeds that one off, looking for Marco Lewis, but stolen away as John Taylor is in with it for Wakefield. Taylor, he'll deke, he'll pull it back, he'll fire it there. Donovan able to make the stop there. Highlanders take over control. Only 15 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Once again, there's Simoneau that time as he took the puck away on the forecheck. Penalty kill for Wakefield, generating offensive chances here.
Very aggressive penalty kill, and as good as the first half of that power play was, Todd, the second half, not so much.
Great opportunity here as Candolino got it down to DiCarlo, but he got it poked away. It's number 14, Daniel Curon, able to poke that one away. That one sent towards the near corner by Lewis as he chases it there. Penalty is over. Teams at equal strength. Puck in neutral ice, but controlled there by Ethan Thomas. It's going to be an offsides. As Thomas came across before John Taylor could get out of the zone. So the faceoff will come just outside the Highlander zone. 5:50 remaining in the first period. We are scoreless from the vet.
Real good aggressive penalty killing there on the tail end of that power play by Wakefield. And they end up generating more shots than Somerville was able to get on goal. And Colin Donovan doing his part back there in between the pipes. He's looked solid here in his debut.
Ethan Thomas was able to dump that one in, and then a big check on Martel against the boards. Back to the point, Couture has it. He'll pinch it down into the corner. Avoids the check there. Puck gets past, though. It's Karim Diallo. Cycles it back for the Highlanders. Diallo, a big, physically large freshman for the Highlanders. Chris Capazzo, head coach, very excited to see him play this year. As we have a whistle, and we will have another Wakefield penalty as Ethan Thomas will go, the sophomore for the Warriors. Highlanders will have the man advantage for the second time here in the first period. 5:19 remaining. Highlanders not able to generate a lot late in that power play. Started off generating offense. Let's see what they can do on this with the man advantage.
And with Antonelli set to take the draw, that's where it's all going to start. Possession so crucial on these man advantages, and you want him to ideally pull this cleanly back onto the stick of Shane Doe.
That one finally by the Highlanders as Antonelli battled it back to Doe. Gets it to Antonelli, over to the corner. Back over to Doe. To the far side, there's Candolino. Now Braden Hart with it. Hart. Back to Candolino. Pasquale gets it down to Doe. As they continue to pass around, trying to get this penalty kill out of formation, find a way through it. As that shot by Candolino, and that'll go in for a Highlander goal. I did not see who got the rebound and put that one in. It may have been Antonelli around the net. As Brendan Ross slow to get up for the Warriors. As also it was Ben DiCarlo down there as well. He might get credit for that goal.
I believe it is going to be Ben DiCarlo who finds his way to that near side post as the Highlanders work a puck out high between Candolino and Hart. Just waiting for that traffic to get assembled there in front of the net as the officials are having a talk about things. It was a shot that got through. Ross made the initial save off his pad, and the puck was available in the crease. DiCarlo down to a knee, just able to knock it into an open side. I believe that puck was in across the goal line, Todd, before the net came off.
That's the question being asked right now as the officials talking about it. It did come off the moorings, but I agree with you, Tyler. I think DiCarlo was able to get the puck into the net before it came off.
That's the recipe right there for the Highlanders. Is you're not going to see probably as many pretty goals as we saw a year ago, right? But they all count the same, and it comes off of that effort-based type of hockey by just simply getting a puck through, getting bodies to the net. It's as simple and as old a tale as time. And Ben DiCarlo right there, already a junior, which is hard for, I think, us to believe.
I agree.
Coming into this season, gets rewarded by doing the hard work and going into those dirty areas. And Highlanders can finally capitalize on special teams, and that's something in an area that they're going to have to rely on for offense this season. When you get power play chances, you've got to find ways to capitalize on, which they finally do.
So the officials speaking to everybody, the Wakefield bench, then the official scorer, then the Somerville bench. Penalty is up 2 minutes up on the board as a penalty was called against Wakefield.
And I want to say at the tail end of it all, Todd, it was DiCarlo taking that contact, trying to get into the crease there. And not sure if it was roughing or a cross check, but somebody got picked up for that hit there on DiCarlo's numbers as he was just trying to get over to that post. And you pay the price there around the net if you want to score goals like that. And Islanders can take a 1-0 lead off a just diligent shift on the power play.
I'm just seeing we've got 2 Warriors in the penalty box, as it's number 7, J.P. Casey, their captain, as well as number 22, Sam Abkunis, both in the penalty box. Not a single Highlander in the penalty box, but there are 4 Warriors on the ice. So I'm just trying to figure out how these numbers work out, because the previous penalty should have ended on the power play goal for the Highlanders.
So, from our producer, Ben Martin, it sounds like Casey was assessed 2 and an additional 10 minutes as well on top of that. So, Abkunis is going to sit and serve his 2-minute penalty, and then Casey's going to have to sit and stay in that penalty box for 10 more minutes, although that won't mean a 10-minute power play for the Islanders. He'll just be out of commission for the time being.
Big.
It's a huge loss for the
Big loss
Warriors.
there. Yeah, J.P. Casey, their center, their starting center. So we have the 5 minutes up below the 2 minutes, so the Islanders will have at minimum 2 minutes of power play. They will likely have 5 minutes of power play and score as many goals as they'd like. 4:43 remaining here in the first period. Highlanders with the 1-0 lead after the goal there by Ben DiCarlo. And they will have the man advantage for the remainder of this period, as with a 5-minute major, the Highlanders have 5-on-4 hockey till the end of the pit. And we're going to have 5-on-3 as Braden Mayette will go for the trip there. As was it DiCarlo again who earned that one? I think it was, using some speed there into the corner.
Just moving your feet, trying to get into an area to set this power play unit up, and stick comes in from Mayette right into the skates, takes DiCarlo down, and now all of a sudden things are unraveling, feels like, for Wakefield after such a strong start to this game. They don't get rewarded with a goal, but now they need their special teams to really dig in here.
Highlanders win this one off the face-off. As they look to battle Yankopoulos in the corner, but Antonelli comes out with it, drops that one to Doe. Doe over to the corner to Hart. Hart back out to Candelino, over to Doe. Doe on the near side. Gives it back to Candelino, fires that one, knocked away by Ross. Highlanders keep control. It's Doe back to Candelino, quick passing, single touch passing here. Mistake there, though, as Candelino didn't control the puck. Great job, though, by Candelino chasing Scarpello back and not allowing him a break.
Those can get dangerous there. Blue line turnovers, and Scarpello could have very well gotten away with a shorthanded breakaway, but Candelino on the recovery.
Braden Hart now feeds it back to Doe. Doe at the point, goes to the far point to Hart. Hart, cross ice, looking for Doe. He'll play it off the boards. Gets it back out to Candelino at the slot. At the top of the slot, he'll fire that one in, and Ross knocks it aside. Rebound, battle for Antonelli, unable to get to it, but he has control behind the net. Gets it to Braden Hart. 48 seconds remaining in the 2-man advantage for the Highlanders. 3:07 remaining in the period. Highlanders with the 1-0 lead and 2-man advantage. That one fired in there, knocked aside as it's deflected. Back out to Candelino in the top of the slot. He fires that one in. The stick of Ross sent it aside, and Wakefield able to clear the zone. 25 seconds remaining in the 2-man advantage for the Highlanders. They will remain on the man advantage through the remainder of this period. Candelino will carry it out from behind the Highlander net.
Got to be mindful of Mayette coming out in the box here in under 10 seconds.
As he crosses that one through the crease, looking for the far side for Marco Lewis, but he whiffed on it. Lewis battling over in the corner. And Mayette out of the penalty box, cleared away by John Taylor for the Warriors. 2:30 remaining in the man advantage for the Highlanders. 2:12 remaining in the period. Candelino sends it to the far side. Lewis able to control after a little danger there, but his pass forward, too far forward. As that got all the way through, has to be swept aside by Donovan. Wakefield looking to send that deeper in to the Highlander zone. John Taylor across ice. Now Lewis looking to control neutral ice, gets it knocked away by Eddie Palmer. Palmer Gets that one through neutral ice. Lewis unable to control, tried to block it with his body, but it was cleared away by Wakefield. Minute 26 remaining in the period. Shane Doe with it in neutral ice. Looks to carry it in, dumps it around. Antonelli will get it here on the near boards. Braden Hart not quite able to pick that puck up off the boards. Had a great opportunity if he could. Now Ben DiCarlo all the way back behind the Highlander net. A minute 8 remaining in the period. Lots of speed here for Hart through neutral ice. So he gets by the Wakefield defense. Tried to turn the corner there on Curon. Just didn't quite get there. And it goes all the way around. Whistle sounds. 55.1 seconds remaining. Face-off will stay in the Wakefield end. So the Highlanders lead this one 1-0 after the goal by Ben DiCarlo. Highlanders leading here 1-0 over on the basketball court. Both the boys and girls teams both won against Lynn English this past week by double digits. And they will have games coming up against Chelsea tomorrow evening. We'll have coverage of the girls game against Chelsea starting at 6 o'clock here on Somerville. NTV as Jack Conley and myself will have that coverage for you. As the puck comes here near side, Shane Doe feeds it to Candelino over to Braden Hart. Hart now with it. Gives it back out to Candelino. Candelino fires that one in wide to the far side. Controlled by Hart. Now Candelino. Candelino down to Shane Doe. Just wide as he sent it through the crease.
Just off the heel of his stick there, but a real good look from up high by Candelino.
Now Hart feeds it back as Antonelli got it back to Candelino. Candelino fires that one in. Knocked away by Ross. Cleared away by Wakefield. As Donovan controls for the Highlanders, gives it to Candelino. 13 seconds left, time for one more rush as Doe plays that one forward. Tried to get it to DiCarlo. Knocked to the corner, though, by Morris. As Wakefield able to clear it by Marco Lewis there. And that will do it for the first period of action as the Highlanders take the lead 1-0 on the goal by Ben DiCarlo. They will start the second period one man up, 4-6-17 seconds as well, Tyler.
Able to take advantage of special teams in a period in which that, at least at the start, Todd, it was all Warriors with the pressure and the battle factor along the wall. I really was impressed with Colin Donovan and how composed he was here. A couple of important saves early just to keep the score, just to keep the game scoreless and keep his team feeling good about how they were playing. Then you get that power play opportunity, and that's when the gears can shift from defense to offense. They didn't capitalize on the first one. They weren't going to make sure that the second one went by the boards. Ben DiCarlo with a huge goal to give Somerville the lead going into the break.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Ben DiCarlo, the goal scorer for the Highlanders. They lead 1-0. We will be back for second period action here on Somerville NTV. We can come back. That's fine. Early. Yeah. Let's do it. We are back at the Veterans Memorial Ice Rink here in Somerville as the Highlanders lead the Warriors of Wakefield by the score of 1-0 goal by Pasquale by Ben DiCarlo, as Candelino was running the point for the basic second half of that first period. Tyler Arrego alongside Todd Harmon. Tyler, the Highlanders started off, it looked a little ragged there for a moment, but then the special teams kicked in, maybe some discipline issues for Wakefield as well.
Oh, and that's what this Highlander team needed to get their offense back into gear, was that power play opportunity. I thought they generated some good looks and some good movement, just couldn't get any shots through on that first power play attempt, but it's enough to build confidence, which is what this team, this young team, really needs to find here in the early going. But I'll tell you this, Todd, the confidence really started in that period from the work that was done defensively. Colin Donovan in net, the freshman making his first appearance here at home for the Highlanders. He was solid as a rock, but his teammates in front of him as well really did a good job to weather that first half storm, the opening 10 minutes of the Warriors, who are a confident group as well, coming off of a big 5-3 opening win against Woburn. So this game far from over. The Highlanders couldn't quite penetrate on that major power play, which still has 17 seconds left, and you've got to be mindful of that, especially with JP Casey set to exit the box here. So it's going to be an important opening minute to 2 minutes here in this second period for the Highlanders to try and set the tone here and get this puck into the zone quickly.
Highlanders will have 17 seconds of power play, the man advantage, as they lead 1-0 as Matt Costa settles in against Sartori. Highlanders win that draw. As Caden Martell sends it around looking for Shane Doe. Now carried out by Doe. He's got lots of speed through neutral ice as that puck poked away and stolen away by Daniel Curon. Sent back down ice. Wakefield very aggressive here, down a man. Actually, the man advantage now over, I should say. As Wakefield now even strength. That puck from the point. Blocked there by Doe. As Wakefield now pulls it out as Sartori has an opportunity down ice. Poked away by Candelino. Highlanders send it around the net, but now Sartori has it. Nice job there by Donovan. Great quick reaction as he was able to handle that shot. The Highlanders come out of their end with the puck. They play it forward looking for Ben DiCarlo, the Highlander goal scorer. Taken away by the Warriors. Candelino tried to send it back, but it was dumped in by Wakefield. Whistle sounds. Offsides is going to be the call. 13:38 remaining here in the second period. Highlanders with the 1-0 lead. I should say icing is going to be the call as the faceoff will come back down to the Warriors' end as JP Casey still in the penalty box, so he is serving that 10 minutes.
Has to be, and it's unusual to see a player get 5 and 10 but still remain in the game, and so not quite sure what's happening down there, but I know the Warriors would much rather have him out on the ice right now.
Antonelli, a nice job keeping that puck in as the Highlanders staying on the attack. Candelino keeps it in for just a moment, but now it's taken away as Brady Walsh leads the attack for the Warriors.
Nice job by Candelino there to get back after he got caught up along the boards there. Defensive layers have to be there for the Highlanders because this Warriors team wants to get back to what they were doing in that first period, and that's playing in this area of the ice.
And that's dangerous right there as Donovan sliding across makes the stop. Great job there by Colin Donovan. The shot by Eddie Palmer from the near side here. He was able to block that, then slid across to handle the rebound attempt.
Second save was even better too as he was trying to steer that puck over to the corner, but a lot of red sweaters over there along the far side, and it ends up finding Palmer's stick, and Donovan just makes a great adjustment down on his knees to get back up to the top of his crease and make that save.
Simonell wins that one for the Warriors. Shot sent in. Donovan knocks it down. Stayed in position to control any rebound attempt. Shot attempt there by Taylor goes wide. Another attempt there off the left blocker as Palmer tried to get that one past Donovan, but he kicked it aside. Highlanders need to get this out of the zone, and they're able to as Shane Doe clears that one all the way down, but it's going to go for an icing as the faceoff will come back to the Highlanders zone. 12:30 remaining here in the second period. Highlanders with the 1-0 lead.
And that shift right there from the Warriors is what they were able to do early on in the first period. Not allow the Highlanders to clear the puck, force them to stay in a more defensive posture and box out, try and keep the middle of the ice as open as it could be. Puck bouncing around out in front after it was kept in at the zone, and it ends up once again on Donovan's doorstep. He's got to be sharp, quick up and down, and it was that left pad that stuck out, got back to the near post to make an important save in tight. As Wakefield knows, this game is still very much in the balance, and there's still a lot of time to be played. They want to get back to what they were doing early on that made them look like a strong side here out of the start. The Highlanders have to find better ways to respond here.
Wakefield wins that draw, tried to get the shot through, fell dead in the traffic in front of the net as Braden Hart will send this one on down. No icing as he got past mid-ice. Big hit there by Ben DiCarlo. And that's going to stop play here as A.J. Couture still down on the ice on a knee. And DiCarlo is going to head to the penalty box. So the Highlanders will be down a man.
This should just be a 2-minute minor for interference, I'd have to guess. It certainly wasn't a hit from behind, but the puck was unfortunately coming around the wall, and Couture had his head down trying to get to it as it came passed up through his stick, and DiCarlo just continuing on his route ran right through his check. Whether that's interference or charging, you could take your pick, I suppose, but it's going to put the Highlanders shorthanded here in a position where Wakefield now has an opportunity after having to kill off consecutive penalties. They have a chance to answer here with a power play strike of their own.
Wakefield the opportunity to tie it up on the power play. Highlanders scored their goal on the power play. As Wakefield wins the draw, back to the point. Couture sends it back to Yankopoulos. Yankopoulos to the far side. Shot there. Donovan knocked it aside. Controlled by Wakefield behind the net. As Couture with it. Sends it back to Yankopoulos at the point. Back over to Couture. Yankopoulos, he'll fire that one in there. Gets knocked down by the traffic in front, but not cleared out.
Hit his own man, Palmer.
As the Warriors working around, shot from the far side, goes wide. As that was Scarpello looking for it.
Caught a little bit of the post there to the short side. Donovan had things pretty well covered, but a little bit of daylight over that right shoulder, and Scarpello didn't miss by much.
Shane Doe will send that one out of the Highlanders zone. Has to be played quickly by Brendan Ross between the pipes for the Warriors. As they will control into neutral ice, John Taylor with it. Looks to skate it in. Taylor looking to control. Instead, Couture comes away with it. Couture back to Yankopoulos. Now Couture again here near boards. Try to skate it in as Doe tries to take it away. Couture behind the Highlander net. Leaves it behind, though, for Colin Rosas to knock away for a moment. Now Yankopoulos back at the point. Fires that one in. And Colin Donovan, great job there. Shielded and screened from that shot from the point by Yankopoulos. And he held on to the rebound.
Yeah, having to deal with a lot of traffic out in front. It was Eddie Palmer at first who had a shot hit him, but also John Taylor, who's a pretty big kid standing right in front of the net. And that's just one of those saves, Todd, where the puck just hits you. It gets through the crowd, it gets on you, but you're in such good positioning that all you've got to do is let it hit you and hang on to it.
Hugh Forrest will fire that one towards the net. Great job there. Once again, Donovan with that shot as well, able to block it behind the net. Donovan doing a great job on this power play. 13 seconds remaining in the man advantage as Mayette plays it back to the point. Shot there by Sartori. Goes wide off of the traffic. Donovan once again, another great save. As Simoneau battling there with Candelino. Penalty is over. Teams are at even strength as Candelino tries to get it mid-boards here on the near side. Highlanders look to control as they play it behind the net. Rosas Gets it back to Antonelli. He'll play it off of the boards. It bounced out towards the crease. And there's Colin Donovan to jump on it. 9:54 remaining here in the second period.
Not just Colin Donovan either on that penalty kill, as solid as he was in the corner there. Kareem Diallo, another first-year player, getting himself involved despite a stick coming at him and tugging around his arms. He's able to stay strong in the corner there. Couldn't get the clear, but got the puck away from danger, which is always crucial on those penalty kills. A big one here for Somerville in the second period.
Eddie Palmer sent that out in front, knocked away by the Highlanders. Palmer once again trying to get that one out in front. Now controlled by John Taylor. Taylor drops it behind him to Palmer. Palmer in the corner. Sends it through into the slot. Braden Hart is who is waiting it. Now Hart fires that one in. Rebound comes down as DiCarlo was in the area, but it's cleared away by the Warriors.
Never a thing is a bad shot on net, Todd.
Now Shane Doe looking to control, but Taylor able to poke it away and control it in the corner for the Warriors. Taylor looks to get it away. Doe continues the fight and is able to get it away. Now Braden Hart, nice job there as he gets it out of the zone, carries it into the attacking zone, fires the shot wide to the near side. Cycled back in by Caden Martell, but held along the boards by Eddie Palmer.
Todd, I'll tell you, I think Braden Hart could have a 3-on-0 and he'd still decide to shoot the puck. He is always ready with that puck on his stick to let it fly.
Candelino now controls for the Highlanders through neutral ice. Chasing it all the way down to the corners as he splits the defenders. Puck sent to the far boards, controlled over there by McCarthy. McCarthy looking to clear it out for the Warriors, and he will, but it's going to go all the way down. Icing will be the call. Face-off will come back to the Warriors in 8:28 remaining here in the second period. Highlanders with the 1-0 lead. Make sure, by the way, you have mashed your buttons. We've got this live coverage here of Highlander hockey. If you've mashed your buttons, you've liked, shared, subscribed, gotten those notifications, you will know about this coverage. You'll also know about all the winter concerts going on throughout Somerville High School, or Somerville school systems, I should say, that we are covering here on Somerville Ed TV. Make sure you mash your buttons, like, share, subscribe, and get those numbers up. We are almost to 3,500. The Highlanders now on the defensive side. Wakefield with the puck as Sartori cuts in to the point. Yankopoulos gets it deeper where Guida has it against the boards. Back to Yankopoulos. He fires that in there, and Colin Donovan yet again holds on to the puck. I'm noticing, Tyler, Colin Donovan, very good controlling rebounds. Excellent job not allowing rebounds or controlling where they go.
And for a young goaltender here, that's so important in instilling confidence, not just in yourself and in your own game, but for the 5 guys out there in front of you, knowing that if that puck does get to you or it does get into your crease, you're going to keep it there and get the whistles that...
Hart not quite able to clear that one out. Warriors attacking here as Ethan Thomas fired that one through the crease.
That's off, Todd, here.
Whistle sound.
I was waiting for that whistle once I saw it come off, and you never know sometimes if the referees will notice. That time they did, well positioned. But going back to Donovan real quick, it's just the nerves are there. There's anxiety coming into a moment like this, and despite being a freshman, he does not look like one with how he's playing right now. And I know it's only his first game. He hasn't played even 3 full periods yet, but I've liked what I've seen so far, and I think the coaching staff would echo that.
As that one sent in, knocked away by Caden Martell. Could not quite clear it. Now they get it back here to the point as Mayette tries to control. Cycled deeper by Brady Walsh. Over in the far corner, Highlanders looking to control it, but the Warriors come away with it for a moment. There's Ben DiCarlo as he's able to come out of the mess with it. Fires it down ice. Ross has to deal with it there. As the Warriors control coming out of their zone. Curon plays it forward. Now Thomas tried to adjust himself, sent it deeper. Highlanders look to clear it out, and they do. As Mayette controls, 6:55 remaining in the period. Highlanders the 1-0 lead. Mayette feeds it here to the near side. That's Taylor. Taylor through the crease, and that's into the net as Eddie Palmer came in from the weak side and knocked it home as a beautiful pass right through the crease there.
Beautiful execution by Wakefield all around, and it starts out in neutral ice with Braden Mayette. He leads the charge after the Highlanders were able to get it clear right up the middle. He skates right onto that puck, gets through the neutral zone unopposed, and that allows for the ice to really open up once they cross the blue line. Numbers brewing, and just a great passing sequence there. The cross crease feed, a thing of beauty, and all Palmer's going to do is just slam it into that open side as Donovan does have the pad down, but Palmer able to get elevation just enough up and over to get this game tied up. Goal that felt like it was coming with how Wakefield's been able to play here in 5-on-5 especially.
Simoneau showing speed down there. First one to it behind the Highlander net. As Wakefield now has tied this game up 1-1. Highlanders able to clear the zone. Wakefield looks to dump it right back in. That'll go as an icing as it went through clean. Face-off will come back to the Warriors zone. 6:19 remaining here in the second period. Tied up 1-1 after that goal by Eddie Palmer.
This is a big shift here for the Highlanders, trying to respond now after a goal against. A goal that felt like came pretty unopposed with how the Warriors were able to gain their blue line with at least 3, if not 4 bodies attacking the net. Now you get an attacking zone face-off and possession.
As they had the possession, Hart fired that one towards the net. Came off of the right blocker of the goalie, Brendan Ross. As Wakefield now trying to get it into the Highlander zone right along the near boards here, battling with Braden Hart in there. Also, Zach Howell was battling in there as well. Highlanders came away with it for a moment. As Matt Costa tried to control. Now Howell looking to control over there. Costa also on those far boards, but Wakefield comes away with it as Giancopoulos into the zone. Tries to get through the defense, not able to feather it through. Highlanders cleared, so Wakefield had to clear the zone.
Much better job defensively there, stacked up along the blue line. The layers were present. Shane Doe, of course, the last man to come in and knock that puck away to diffuse that rush.
Hart gets it out to Howe. Howe controlling on the near boards. Gets it back to Doe, who passes it all the way over, and back to Doe. Doe will dump this one out. It doesn't go all the way down for icing, picked up by Giancopoulos. Giancopoulos behind the Warrior net. Brings it out, drops it to Couture, who gets it down ice. Caden Martell slowing things up there. Whistle sounds. Offsides is going to be the call. 5:02 remaining in the second period. We are all knotted up 1 apiece. Kyle Antonelli in the face-off there for the Highlanders. He'll win it back to Candelino. Candelino tries to get it forward to DiCarlo. DiCarlo dumps it into the zone. DiCarlo chasing it down behind the net. Battling there with Giancopoulos. Puck came out, though. Wakefield cleared the zone there. No, they did not. Highlanders held it in. As Candelino holding it in at the blue blind. Antonelli as well as Marco Lewis trying to get hold of it. Candelino holds it in again. This time Wakefield able to carry it out. Jake Morris, though, got dispossessed. The goal scorer, Eddie Palmer, with it. Feeds it off to Simoneau. Simoneau sends it into the Highlander end as Palmer chases it down in the corner. Antonelli will control for the Highlanders. As Guida now gets it taken away by Antonelli. Tried to play that one forward for Diallo. Got by him, but Wakefield now controls. As Sartori has it, Diallo with the poke, but Wakefield able to get him by as Jake Morris controls. Drops it off to Guida. Far side shot there by Scarpello. Knocked away by Donovan. Puck behind the net. As that one crossed in front, Scarpello had a great opportunity, point blank, and Donovan was right there to stop him.
These 2 saves there when that puck came back out into the middle of the crease, and thought Donovan for a moment might have lost his net, briefly tracking that puck over from left to right, but shows no panic in his game for such a young player. Recovers his footing, gets across from post to post, and gets himself positioned right in the middle of his net there to make not 1 but 2 important saves late in this second period.
As Doe able to clear the zone. Wakefield will pick it up. Huron with it behind the net. His pass off the mark, taken away by the Highlanders as Martell got it deeper. Gets that to Hart. Hart's shot attempt, no good as it goes wide. Doe keeps it in at the point. Howe now trying to hold on at the point. Puck does get out. Doe will control it as he knifes into the zone. Got an opportunity here as he fires that one off. And the quick glove of Brendan Ross swallows it up.
Something we haven't seen much of from the Highlanders here, and that's quick transitions after the puck gets cleared back out into neutral ice. Shane Doe has it on his stick, and he sees the lane. Just decides to take what ice is afforded to him there and makes a nice cut in past his man on that near side circle. Wanted to go far side over the glove of Ross, who hasn't been busy in this period, but looked sharp there on that save.
Yeah, he did. Very quick glove there as Antonelli on the near boards cycles it down lower. DiCarlo almost had it there. Martell unable to keep it in the zone. Brady Walsh down ice. As J.P. Casey back on the ice for the Warriors after spending his 10 minutes in the penalty box. Highlanders able to clear it out of the zone. Now DiCarlo will pick it up, send it deeper as he goes slamming into the boards. Antonelli looking to hold it in. He'll cycle it deeper. Picked up behind the net by Couture. Once again, DiCarlo keeps it in for just a second. Doe tried to shovel that one in, but it was deflected out of the zone. Doe kept control and sent it in. Highlanders go for a change. As now Huron sends it out. That's J.P. Casey with it. It's Casey being ridden there by Braden Hart. Leaves it back for Walsh.
Nice
Walsh gets knocked away, though.
It was a nice job by Martell to come over there and just provide some support.
Hart trying to work his way out of the zone, and he'll fire it down ice. Has to be dealt with by Brendan Ross. Sent behind the net, now Palmer will send it into neutral zone, carried through by Simoneau as he enters into the Highlander zone. He drops it back to the point to Iankopoulos. Iankopoulos fires that one, it deflects off the people in front of the net. Fired back to the point, unable to be controlled by Mayette. So it goes all the way back into the Wakefield end. 1:20 remaining here in the second period, tied up 1-1 as Wakefield has been on the attack most of this period. Candelino trying to get it down ice, keeping control of neutral ice. Little dipsy-do there, holding on to the puck as he dekes it past one of the Wakefield Warriors to get it into the zone. Now Mayette controlling behind the Wakefield zone. 1 minute remaining here in the period. Highlanders cycle it a bit deeper. Candelino tries to keep it in at the blue line. Battling along the boards, but it's cleared away as Simoneau gets it down ice into the Highlanders zone where Antonelli will pick it up. He'll circle back. Works it all the way to the other side, unable to be picked up there by Colin Rosas. Candelino looking to get down ice with that puck, gets squeezed off by Sartori. All the way to the far corner where Guida there is fighting. Ben DiCarlo battling over there with Guida. Scarpello joins the battle as well. As Wakefield gets it back to the point, 10 seconds remaining in the period. That one shot wide by Scarpello as he had a great chance in front. Brings it out in front, gets it poked away. Good job by Antonelli there. And that will do it for the second period of play as the Warriors able to get the equalizer from Eddie Palmer on a really nice pass through the crease. Whistles sounding. Officials not happy with some of the goings on towards the end there in the corner, but that will do it for the second period of action, Tyler, as Wakefield carried the attack, got the goal, equalizing things as we look to go to the third.
Yeah, the Warriors were able to get back to their recipe that they had in the first half of the first period. They were at 5-on-5, the more dominant team here in the second. And for the Highlanders looking at things, you got to feel pretty grateful to be tied up right now, 1-1. Big tip of the cap to Colin Donovan and the penalty killers, especially in that second period. But Colin Rosas may have very well saved a goal there at the buzzer as Scarpello nearly had a chance there to deflect that in. Nice shot pass look from Jake Morris up at the near point. And for as good as Donovan has been, there's been a flurry of action around him in that second period, and the Highlanders have to try and find ways to quiet things down and defend much better at 5-on-5 while finding ways to then attack as well at even strength here.
2 periods down, 1 to go. 15 minutes of hockey remaining here from the vet here on Somerville. Ed TV tied up 1-1. We'll be back for third period action in just a moment. back at the Veterans Memorial Ice Rink here in Somerville. The Warriors of Wakefield tied 1-1 with the Somerville Highlanders. Hello, everybody. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Orrego. We will bring you this third period here on Somerville Ed TV. And Tyler, Wakefield has had the run of the attack, except for those special teams, those power plays at the end of the first period. The Highlanders able to get that power play goal from Ben DiCarlo, but it's been all Wakefield since then. And Colin Donovan, the young freshman in the net for the Highlanders, doing a great job keeping him in this game.
It's been a great 2 periods of hockey so far for Colin Donovan here in this home opener, but for the Highlanders, they've certainly got to find a way to generate a little bit more here at even strength in this third period. Too much time around their own zone defending and being pressed into those defensive postures. They've had chances to clear pucks out, but it's taken them at least 2 or 3 attempts to just even get pucks out into neutral ice. The key here for the Highlanders outside of possession is going to be getting to that red line and getting pucks in deep and putting pucks into areas where you're going to be able to make plays on them.
As the face-off for the third period, won by the Warriors, as J.P. Casey spent 10 minutes in the penalty box. He is out on the ice and carrying it into the Highlander zone. His shot deflected wide by Shane Doe as Casey keeps control, sends it back to the point to Mayette. Mayette near side to Yankopoulos as they get it down in front of the net. But Walsh was ridden off. That puck is right down in front. I can see it in front of Donovan, but a Wakefield player is in the net, behind the net.
That was
that's Casey.
Casey, who did have to sit for quite a bit of time due to some penalty minutes that were stacked up, and right away Wakefield able to go to work and get a puck cycled out high using the blue line to their advantage. Yankopoulos trying to get a shot through on a deflection. Donovan ended up having to track it all the way back behind his net before Casey got a hold of it and tried to stuff it into that near post. More good work from number 1, Colin Donovan, and Highlanders just need to find better ways to support him here, not allow for these pucks to get into his crease like that.
Scarpello able to get that one deeper into the Highlanders zone. Sartori behind the net, trying to control. Highlanders, though, able to knock it away. As Diallo had it for just a moment mid-boards. Now Antonelli looking to get away with it, but not able to clear it out. Back at the point, Highlanders able to clear it out this time as Marco Lewis all the way down ice, chasing it down with Mayette, and that will go as an icing. Face-off will come back to the Highlanders zone. 14 minutes remaining in the game, tied up 1-1. Hope you're enjoying this special live coverage of Highlander hockey here on Somerville Ed TV. Make sure you've mashed your buttons, like, share, subscribe. We have girls basketball coming up on Tuesday, boys basketball coming up on Friday. We will have coverage throughout the winter of all of those team sports here on Somerville Ed TV. As Wakefield controls out of the face-off. Highlanders, though, able to steal it away. As Caden Martell brings it down ice, keeps control into the Wakefield zone. Finally dispossessed of it by Curon, but the Highlanders hold it in as Braden Hart fires that in from the point. Ross had to make the save on that one. Eddie Palmer clears it out of the Wakefield zone. John Taylor has speed into the corner. Braden Hart meets him there. Taylor gets it back to the point. Fired in. Donovan had to get rid of that one, and that one's posted. As John Taylor came knifing in, his forehand attempt came off the post. Highlanders will clear it out.
A rare time we've seen a rebound produced off Colin Donovan here tonight as that puck went off his left pad on a shot from the point, as Wakefield just continues to find ways to funnel offense towards the net, and they nearly took the lead.
As they're able to clear that one out, Walsh was able to get the last knock on the puck out of the zone. Wakefield looking to control in neutral ice as Casey sends it into the Highlander zone. Candelino will get it behind the net. Candelino looking to clear out. Gets past Casey. He's got speed as he comes in against Yankopoulos. Turns, fires, cleared away. Yankopoulos was able to deflect that one and knock it down and clear it out. Now back the other direction as Walsh fires that one towards the net. Another opportunity there, that one by Scarpello, as that was deflected wide. Out in front, tap there, opportunity, big swing there by Couture as it went wide. Now Walsh controlling in the corner for the Warriors as they've generated a lot of opportunities here. They get it to Yankopoulos. He tries the shot from the point. Blocked there by Marco Lewis.
Big block there from Lewis.
As that will come off the boards. Whistle sounds. Icing is the call. Face-off will come back to the Warriors in 11:51 remaining here in the game.
Just more pucks being played towards the net. Puck's not getting out of the zone. A shot comes in from distance. Doesn't get all the way through on the first crack, but Donovan making that push over to his right. Makes a great save again down low. And then the block from Marco Lewis. A huge defensive play as well. Can't let that go by the boards either.
Matt Costa tries to cycle it deeper for the Highlanders. Picked up by Scarpello as he sends it over to Morris. Now cleared out, carried out by Guida. Gabe Guida sends it around the Highlander net. Mayette will pick it up there. As Guida once again, the pass out front. Donovan able to stop it there as Sartori came through, but Sartori gets another bite at the apple and puts it into the back of the net.
And there's only so much that you can do there. Your goaltender comes up with one huge save right out in front on Sartori, and then I don't know who the Highlander was that got in behind Donovan, but he then made a saving play to scrape that puck off the line, but Somerville just can't get a puck out of trouble. And give full marks to Cameron Sartori. He knows to stay around the net. That's where the goals are scored. He doesn't vacate the area, Todd. He keeps himself open. He keeps his stick down on the ice. Puck finds him, and he's got a yawning cage to fire it into.
11:18 remaining in the game. Highlanders now trailing 2-1. Looking to generate some offense. Their only offense really has come predominantly off the power play. As Taylor behind the net, battling there with Antonelli, pulled away by Rosas. That one fired towards the net, knocked wide. Jake Morris with the shot that time.
Semino was wide open too on that near side of the ice.
Howe able to poke that one into the Wakefield zone, but they immediately empty. As now Mayette with control through neutral ice. He'll control into the Highlander zone. Sends it through the crease. Looking for John Taylor on that one. That one fired in as Donovan stops the shot from Curon. Back behind the net now. Taylor has it. Curon picks it up at the point, sends it in. Tip towards the net. Nice block there as Thomas got a nice little backhanded attempt. Forehanded shot there by Taylor, and Donovan stops that one.
What a show he's been putting on here, Todd, and obviously no chance on that second goal scored by Sartori on that mad scramble around him, but goes to show you as a goaltender how short the memory has to be. This is still a one-goal hockey game, and if not for Colin Donovan, it could already have very well gotten out of hand for the Highlanders. He's keeping the minute. They've got to find a way to help him out here. Too much time spent in this area of the ice.
Islanders had an opportunity for numbers there, but couldn't control it. As now they get it out to Braden Hart, one-on-one, dealing with Mayette. Hart, though, poked away by Mayette. Nice play there by Braden Mayette.
Didn't blink once on any of those moves there as Hart tries to stick handle his way by that last line of defense.
Martell, he'll dump that one in for the Highlanders, chased down by DiCarlo, but Wakefield gets to it first. As Costa tries to keep it in, McCarthy carries it for Wakefield, now picked up by Hart in neutral ice. Braden Hart's in. He'll send that one towards the net, held on to by Brendan Ross. As Hart was coming in here on the near side, not a lot of help on the weak side coming from the Highlanders, though. Had to send that one in from a tough angle against Brendan Ross.
And in a situation like that, you'd love to see somebody driving either the middle or to that back post, because if Hart can put that shot just a little lower, perhaps even off that far pad, you generate a rebound opportunity with the net open. Look out.
Candelino tried to get control of it, but Casey stole it away. Casey trying again. Gets that one shot wide, as I believe it was deflected. Couture keeps it in at the blue line, sends it back behind. Walsh with it. Pinching in, taking the shot is Mayette. And once again, there's Colin Donovan. No rebound coming off the young freshman.
Positioning again, just perfect. Tracking of the puck has been on point for the most part here for Colin Donovan. And if there's one thing that the Highlanders are going to potentially be able to take away from this game, win or lose, Todd, that they maybe have a goaltender here that they can count on and ride here. And a freshman in Colin Donovan making quite a first impression, at least to us up here.
No doubt about it. Turnover for the Warriors, though. Highlanders not able to cash it in as Antonelli not able to get to that puck. Lewis also not able to get to the puck. Highlanders controlling their own zone, trailing by a goal. 8:48 remaining in the game.
Dangerous
Knocked
pass.
down by Walsh, controlled by the Warriors. There's Casey as he sends Doe to the ice surface. Shane Doe so quickly up, though, able to get it forward to Marco Lewis. Now, here is Ben DiCarlo into the attacking zone, but he's the only Highlander in the zone as they were changing behind him. Warriors also going for a change. Highlanders will control. Caden Martell tries to get it forward, looking for Ben DiCarlo, just off on that pass as DiCarlo had a clear lane towards the goal if he could have gotten to that puck.
And that's really what's been the difference in this game, Todd. Wakefield has been able to transition a lot quicker, a lot crisper. The passes have been much more connected. And Ben DiCarlo trying to catch the Warriors there in a change, just could not stretch out far enough there. That pass from Martell has to be more in an area where you know DiCarlo can either reach forward and make a play or ideally skate in onto it with full speed. We've seen Ben moving his feet here tonight. It's been an asset for the Highlanders as
Highlanders won that one as DiCarlo.
But they're going to say that instead it must have gone off the side of the net. I thought maybe it caught a bit of Ross's paddle, but that's a tough break for the Highlanders.
Yeah, I thought it did hit the paddle, to be honest with you. I thought I heard it coming off, the percussive sound coming off. But instead, it's icing. Highlanders once again in their end as Costa will take this draw for the Highlanders. He wins it back to Candelino. It's Candelino, though, in the corner. Costa now feeds it forward as Martell tried to get it over to Hart, but wasn't able to get it all the way across. That one bounces off the referee, helped the Highlanders a little bit. It's Candelino, or I should say DiCarlo, trying to clear it through the neutral ice. Kept in, though, as Scarpello tried that shot. Deflected down. Now Candelino out front to DiCarlo as DiCarlo will chase it down to the boards. Tries to center. As Candelino will control for the Highlanders at the point. He'll fire that one up over the net into the glass. Lewis tries to center to Costa. Stolen away by Wakefield as Scarpello now coming down ice with it. He's all the way through neutral ice looking to go end to end. He drops it. Guida sends it deeper as Wakefield will get a change. That puck stolen away by Yiankopoulos as Yiankopoulos is in.
Oh, what a
Pass
save.
right there. What a save by Donovan as Palmer was looking for his second goal of the game. Palmer again. That one handled by Donovan, and he will control the rebound.
What a stop. What a beautiful read and extension there by Donovan, knowing that there's a man driving to the net and knowing that Yiankopoulos has plenty of options, taking that puck in down the left wing side. Very similar on that cross-crease pass we saw Palmer score on in the second period. Donovan's picked up a thing or two as this game goes along. That's a huge save.
Huge save for the Highlanders, still trailing 2-1. Nice job there as Candelino was able to ride him off the puck. Highlanders into the attacking zone as Marco Lewis trying to control with Antonelli in the near corner. Lewis comes away with it, centering pass. Doe fires that one, and that is gloved and held on to by Brendan Ross. Nice job by Ross seeing through the screen there.
Oh, as much as we've talked about one first-year goalie on the other end who's been great, Brendan Ross here, another fellow first year, has not been tested as much, but he's shown a good glove here. Had a nice save on Doe back in the second period off the rush. That time Shane trying his luck there from distance. Not a screen though set in front that time, and you got to trust any goaltender to be able to make that save on that shot from distance.
Walsh gets it off to Forrest. Forrest shot knocked away by Donovan. Nice block there by Colin Donovan on the rush. As they work it back to the point, Yiankopoulos has it. He'll fire that one, partially blocked by Braden Hart. Over on the far corner now, controlled by Mayette. Gets it here near corner to Walsh. Walsh battling there with Martell. Gets it back to the point to Yiankopoulos, who will cycle it deeper. Walsh once again, cross-ice pass. Gets it to Mayette. Mayette in the corner. He'll reverse. Back over here to the near side to Walsh. As Wakefield with the 1-goal lead, taking their time, trying to set things up. A whiff right there on a bouncing puck through the zone by Palmer. Or I should strike that. That was Forrest. Shot there by Casey, knocked away by Donovan. Shot by Casey again, deflected down, I believe that time by DiCarlo. As that will be sent all the way around the boards and down into the Wakefield end for the icing. Face-off will come back to the Highlander end. 5:26 remaining in the game. Highlanders still struggling to build any sort of offense here outside of their special teams.
And just because so much of their energy and effort here tonight has been depleted, having to defend, the structure has gotten much looser than what we saw in the first period. They're doing a lot more watching of the puck, a lot more chasing of the puck. Got to commit and stay to your spots, stay to your structure, and not allow for yourself to get so worn down here in this third period. You're only down a goal.
As that was knocked out by Candelino, was able to clear it. But now Wakefield back in as Guida has it. Gabe Guida trying to work with Morris in the corner. Highlanders mucking that up as Antonelli comes out with it. Antonelli will dump that one in as Lewis will look to get to it, battling with Dan Curon. Wakefield sends it around the boards and they're able to clear it out as Rosas unable to get there in time to keep it in the zone. Now Wakefield, as breaking in is Scarpello, drops it off. Little pass attempt there by Palmer as he sent it through the crease, nobody home.
One too many there from Palmer.
Now Palmer will get it again. He'll try to poke that one towards the net, knocked away. Candelino controls for the Highlanders as he whips it around the boards, but it's going to go all the way down. Icing is going to be the call. 4:19 remains in the game. Highlanders trailing by a goal. Face-off will come back to the Highlanders zone.
And even when the puck does get out of danger and into the neutral ice area, the Highlanders just not in the right position. You got two guys bunched up there along the red line, Kyle Antonelli and Caden Martell, who's a defenseman, and that allows for gaps to open up. Palmer gets a great look into that far circle. You got to put a puck on net there in that situation. Instead tries to go back across the crease. Bullet dodged there by the Highlanders.
Giancopoulos keeps it in at the blue line. Wakefield working the near boards. Is that one sent in? Donovan able to stop the first attempt, but the second one goes in. I believe that's Jack Simonow who got that one. As it came off of the blocker of Colin Donovan, and Simonow right there able to poke it in.
And it's too easy. It's just far too easy there for the Warriors, who are just unopposed at the net, even though you've got about 4 white and blue sweaters standing there around Donovan. That first shot catches him up high off the mask. Difficult to try and control a rebound, but he then makes at least 2 more saves before that puck is poked in by Simonow. And the Highlanders just getting themselves caved in here a bit.
Tried to cross through the crease, came off of Donovan's pad, and it's out in front of the net. Donovan will lay down on it. Action continues.
Got to get tougher here defensively. Wakefield right now just having their way in the attacking zone with the Highlanders getting shots through from just about each and every angle, but especially here in this third period, making a point of getting things to the paint, to quote a basketball term. And Colin Donovan has really been working here in this third period to try and keep the deficit manageable. But when you let a team get right into the crease like that, Todd, and get 3, 4, 5 whacks at the puck, eventually it's going to end up in your net like it did there. And full marks to the Warriors for how they've been playing here on offense in this game. They have taken it right to the house, and the Highlanders just haven't had a response.
3:54 remaining. Highlanders trailing 3-1 after they led 1-0 after the first period. Whistle sounds as Brady Walsh, after the whistle, took the shot. Head coach Chris Capazzo not happy about that. As you said, Tyler, you can't do that. The whistle had sounded.
The puck is frozen by the goaltender. It's in his midsection. And again, to the Warriors' credit, they're playing around the net because they've been allowed to. And that was, I believe, Brady Walsh who did poke it free after the whistle. But the Highlanders, not much of an opposition here in this third period. And you don't want to see your goaltender get hung out to dry in a game in which he's played so well, and despite these 3 goals, none of them on him tonight, that's for sure.
Puck knocked out in neutral ice. Face-off will stay in neutral ice. 3:32 remaining here in the game. Don't forget, Tuesday, December 16th, 6 o'clock at Bruin Fieldhouse. Highlanders girls basketball team will continue their GBL championship defense against the Chelsea Red Devils. I got a feeling they might get a win in that one. Keep it here on Somerville NTV. Mash your buttons. Get those subscriptions up. We're almost to 3,500. We'd love to hit it this winter. As the Highlanders controlling in neutral ice, Braden Hart will play it back to Shane Doe. Over to Caden Martell as Martell trying to bring it up ice, gets trapped there right at the blue line, but DiCarlo will carry it in. Around the net, Doe will send it, cycling it back down. 3:05 remaining in the game. Braden Hart cuts in, tries to get control of the puck. As Costa down on a knee as well. Martell able to keep that one in at the blue line. And now DiCarlo with it, sends it back. Martell unable to control those. It gets knocked away by Wakefield. Now Brady Walsh on the rush, trying to drop it off to Forrest, but it gets stolen away by the Highlanders. Walsh able to keep it in, though. Scarpello looking to chase it down here on the near boards. Shane Doe will try to clear it away. Gets to the point, but Yiankopoulos keeps it in. Yiankopoulos here to Couture. Couture fires from the point. Sticked away by Donovan. Wakefield continues to control. 2:15 remaining in the game. Highlanders trailing by 2. Whistle sounds. Face-off will come out of the Highlander zone. 2:14 remaining in the game. Highlanders led 1-0 after the first period, but really have not been able to generate much offense since that power play goal by Ben DiCarlo.
And that's going to be the question that I think persists all season long for this group, Todd, is where are the goals going to come from and who can get them here? And of course you want to have a good power play and a power play you can count on, but you can't always depend on the referee to put his arm up. You've got to find ways at 5-on-5 to generate, and it is only the second game of the season. It's early for this young group. They're just going to have to continue to figure that out as the season goes along.
Keeping it in at the point, Yiankopoulos sent that one towards the net, knocked down by Colin Rosas. The Highlanders able to get it out of the zone for a moment, and that will be an icing as it was sent into the Highlander end. So the faceoff will come down to the Warriors end. 1:39 remaining. Highlanders down by 2 goals. Looking at this game, like you said, you lose those 200-point scorers, Chris Casesso as well as Matt DeAngelis, who, by the way, happens to be here this evening. Matt DeAngelis in the house, going to Merrimack College and playing for them. You lose those 200-point scorers, and where is that offense going to come from? This is a young team the Highlanders have, as Pasquale Candelino, the only senior on the team for the Highlanders. Timeout taken on the ice by the Highlanders, so we're going to keep it right here, talk about this situation as the Highlanders growing pains, I think, is what we've got to talk about throughout this season, Tyler, is this is a young team. They're going to be learning on the fly, but tonight, they may have found somebody to put between the pipes that's really going to help that maturation process.
Absolutely, Todd. And I think if anything that they can take away from this game, regardless how the next minute and 39 seconds go, it's the play of Colin Donovan here tonight. One of 2 goaltenders on this roster. You've got Damian Jackson, a junior there on the bench. Always good to have somebody who's been with this program and has that type of experience as well to lean on and support, especially now in this day and age with the way the game is played. It feels like 2 goaltenders are now being relied upon more and more, but Donovan has been a plus for sure, along with the power play here tonight as well. And special teams really as a whole have looked good for the Highlanders. They had a strong penalty kill at the start of the second period, capitalized on the power play in the first, so even though they are down by 2 right now, there are positives that they're going to be able to take away from this game. The biggest question, though, that has remained unanswered is what can this team do and what kind of recipes can they try and cook up here at 5-on-5 to generate more success, because it's going to look and feel a lot different than it did a year ago, and that's what happens when you lose 2 tremendous forwards like that, and not just 2 tremendous forwards, but guys like Seamus Foley as well and other leaders throughout the lineup, as Somerville's going to keep their goaltender in net here down by 2.
Highlanders need to get a little stone cold here with 1:35 remaining in the game, trailing by 2 goals. Wakefield, though, able to carry it out as Eddie Palmer will send it around the boards. John Taylor will deal with it mid-boards. Then once again, Palmer gets onto it in the corner. Highlanders looking to clear, but Yiankopoulos is not going to let it get out of the zone. As that one sent in front of the Highlander net, goes through clean. Braden Hart has it as he will send it out of the zone, but not controlled as it's sent back immediately by Ian Kopolis. 1 minute remaining in the game. Highlanders down by 2 goals. It's Candelino unable to control in the corner. Palmer battling over there, wasting time. Under a minute remaining. Wakefield knows they've got the lead. As Palmer now has control behind the Highlander net. Candelino trying to get the puck away. John Taylor back to the point. Back to John Taylor in the corner. Now J.P. Casey has it behind the net. Back to Taylor. Taylor loses control, though, as Antonelli will send it, trying to clear it out. Antonelli picks it up, able to play it along the boards and out of the zone. 23 seconds remaining in the game. As Casey, through neutral ice, able to get it into the Highlander zone and keep control. Candelino will meet him mid-boards. 10 seconds remaining as the seconds tick down. Highlanders will go to 0-2 on the season as they will look for their first victory. That will do it as Wakefield goes to 2-0 on the season with the 3-1 victory. The Highlanders drop to 0-2. They'll have an opportunity Wednesday night. That is this coming Wednesday, December 17th, against the Lynn Jets in GBL action, a team that typically the Highlanders are able to take care of. We're going to see what happens on Wednesday, but this Wakefield team just too much offensively for the Highlanders.
And full marks to the Warriors here on the road, who have matched last year's win total in just 2 games to start 2025-26. And this is a Wakefield side coming in with 8 senior players and a handful of juniors and sophomores as well. A group of players that knew what last year was like, and I'm sure did not want to repeat things here, especially for that 8 group of senior players. And so full marks to the Warriors, who were the better side here through 60 minutes of play. They came out and controlled things early. The Highlanders, to their credit, weathered that storm, capitalized on the power play, but ultimately in the final 30 minutes through the second and third period, the answers just were not there offensively for the Highlanders, who did get a great effort in goal from Colin Donovan. Tough first loss for him to take, but the confidence level in that position certainly has to be high after tonight, Todd, and we'll see if this offense can come to life a little bit on Wednesday night when Lynn comes into town.
Goal scorer for the Highlanders was Ben DiCarlo with the power play goal in the first period. Goal scorers for the Warriors, Cameron Sartori, Jack Simoneau, as well as Eddie Palmer. Colin Donovan, a great job in goal for the Highlanders. Might have themselves a goalie for the future as he develops a great job tonight as a freshman, getting his first ever start, though, between the pipes for the Highlanders. That's the positive for the evening. We're going to be back here at the Vet, Tyler and I, back at the Vet at 5:30 on Wednesday the 17th. We're going to have basketball tomorrow night here on Somerville Ed TV. Girls basketball going up against the Chelsea Red Devils. Then we'll have the Jets of Lynn here at the Vet on the 17th. Then on Friday the 19th, we will have our first boys basketball game here on Somerville Ed TV as Kevin Scott and Jeff Argenziano will have the call of the Malden Golden Tornadoes coming into Bruin Fieldhouse to face off against the Highlanders as the boys basketball team trying to get back to the playoffs again this season, as they did charging into the playoffs late season last year. So the Highlander hockey team a little bit rough starting off here, 0-2, but the opportunity to bounce back on Wednesday against the Jets. Make sure you have it here on Somerville Ed TV at 5:30 to check out that game. But unfortunately tonight, Tyler, the Highlanders unable to break through against Wakefield, and it's just going to be a battle throughout the season to see how this young team develops.
And that's exactly it, Todd. They're going to have to just continue to grow with each other as this season goes along, and more importantly, make sure that they stick with each other here. Obviously, last year's team got off to that rip-roaring start, 4-0, going into the first responders tournament. They were scoring goals left and right, front and center, but this year is going to be a different year and a different group. And so the most important thing is to not turn on each other here, to stick with each other early on, especially when things are difficult, because ultimately there will be some type of payoff as this season goes along if you can just continue to stay along with each other and try and build this thing back up with this young group.
Absolutely, as the Highlanders in rebuilding mode after losing 2 100-point scorers and tremendous defensive skill as well in Seamus Foley. And right now, we're going to watch throughout this season, but they right now 0-2, some growing pains throughout this season. But on the positive side, Colin Donovan, tremendous in goal for the Highlanders tonight. So a great opportunity there, hopefully, to get a foundation moving forward for this hockey team. That's going to do it for us here from the Vet on Somerville Ed TV. Thank you so much for watching at home. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tyler Orrego on commentary.
Good to be back with you, Todd.
Great to be back as well. Looking forward to a hockey season with you, Tyler. Lenny Scaletta, great job on camera as always. Our director tonight, Ben Martin, fantastic work by him. Thank you very much, Ben. I am Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Highlander Hockey on Somerville Ed TV.